Hey guys, I've just arrived at the beach. I don't really know what I've gotten myself into, but I'm about to have a conversation with a guy who has mastered the art of salt dating. This is a guy who I think sleeps with lots and lots of young, beautiful girls, but he doesn't actually pay them. So he goes onto these sugar baby websites. So sugar babies and the whole sugar daddies, sugar arrangements, that's something I've been covering on the channel. In case you've forgotten, I'll put some link to some previous videos I've done. And actually, I've got a video coming out soon that features interviews with like women, street interviews about sugar babies. I'll play some of that footage for you now.
Yeah, no, I have heard of the sugar community before.
Yeah. Okay. So what would you say you know about it, just like off the top of your head?
I feel like when I was at university, quite a lot of people had sugar daddies, to fund their way through uni, and then I know that it's more common than we think it is.
Have you or any of your friends ever been a sugar baby before?
Not that I know of, no. No, not that I know of.
No, okay.
No, not to my knowledge at least.
No, okay.
I know a couple that are considering it.
Oh, really? Okay.
If they had the opportunity, but I don't know how genuine they are when they say that.
I have not been a sugar baby, but I've received money online for... Oh no! Have you heard of PayPig?
PayPig? I haven't heard of it. No.
So that's people who like to be treated badly, like online, and in return for money, and I've done that before.
Okay.
Well, in return for ASOS vouchers, not
okay.
cash.
But in terms of like I guess more conventional sugar baby stuff, you haven't done any of that stuff before.
No.
But you've got friends who have, like from uni or something?
Yeah, I know people who do have that as as probably a main source of income.
So as you can see, even though I'm late to the party, women seem to be aware of this sugar baby thing. I think of it as like the Uber or the Airbnb of escorting. So previously, while you had hotels and taxis dominate the market, like professional, people in that industry, now it's being just regular people doing it. This is the same with escorting. Now you've just got regular girls, the girl next door, college girls, they're all just doing this escorting thing. Now, the guy I'm about to go and meet, I haven't met before, but he's been a long time watcher of the channel. He sent me a book. It was a fascinating read, not just from a voyeuristic perspective, but he actually breaks down how the website works, how he's able to do what he does, to have such an abundant sex life without paying any money. And I have some questions for him because there's some moral questions, there's some practical questions. I don't really know what he's going to be like, how the conversation's going to go, but if you're watching this video, that means that we had a conversation, and I thought that it would be interesting enough for you guys to watch. So let's see how it goes. Hey guys, I want to introduce you to somebody.
Hey, I'm Stuart. How's it going?
We've been sitting here, we've had our coffee, we're at the beach, beautiful Scarborough Beach, but as you can hear, it's really, really windy, so we're going to head back to my car, get the soundproofing thing, and then I'm going to start the conversation. So I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, here we are with the master of sugar babies and sugar websites himself. I want to start by asking you a very personal question. How many women have you now slept with?
Overall?
Yep.
Jeez, maybe. I'm not one to brag. I don't know, 40? Something like that.
Okay, how many of those women did you meet through sugar baby websites?
I think I've got to mention in my book, it's around like 21.
Okay.
Something over a 6-month period of time. Yeah.
So in 6 months, you doubled the number of women that you slept with.
Yeah, that's fair to say.
Okay, so in your book, we get your whole story, but just to summarize for people, you were married, you got divorced. It wasn't necessarily a negative experience, but you wanted to go back into dating, and then you discovered seekingarrangement.com, yeah?
Okay, so before I started, regular dating on, just through meeting girls in public or on rsvp.com and whatever, and then I went on to Seeking Arrangement.
Yep. And so what was the difference that you noticed between like an RSVP or an OkCupid and Seeking Arrangement?
To be honest, nothing. Honestly, I wish I could say that there was different, but girls depend. It doesn't matter if they're on the site or what I refer to as the site, which is Seeking Arrangements. It doesn't matter because there are good women and there are bad women, and it doesn't matter what site they're on. You just got to weed out the ones that are good and the ones that are bad, I suppose.
But I guess my question is, like, I've noticed that there's a lot of power vested in women in your sites like Tinder or plenty
Yeah.
of fish or whatever it might
Yes.
be. But from reading your book, it seemed like you had a lot more of the power in the dating dynamic.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't know if it's just because of where I am geographically, but in my particular area where I live, or where we live, it's like 6-1 in favor of guys. And I at first I thought that it was rubbish, but to be honest, like after a while, like the results, prove themselves that
So
there must
there
be
are 6 women for every man.
6.5. Yep.
So in just basic supply and demand,
Yeah.
you are the rare commodity,
Yep.
essentially.
Yep.
Like that. So why don't more men use it?
I think maybe, look, it's about $129 a month to join up as a guy. So maybe that sends some guys off.
How much is it for women?
I think it's about, the premium membership is about $60, so it's about half. But most girls...
Hashtag gender equality.
Yeah, exactly. But like most girls just have like a normal account. It's the guys that obviously have to pay. It's the guys that have to pay on...
Do women pay for
RSVP.
the normal account, or is that free?
No, it's free. It's free for both, but if you want a premium account, then it's $60, I believe. Don't quote me on it, but it's about 129 Australian for guys.
So what was your goal going on? Did you just want to find a new wife and get married again, or were you
No.
looking... what?
absolutely
Didn't
not.
even finish. What was your intention?
I think I just had something to prove to myself, but also I think I was going through a misogynistic streak. So I'm not going to say that like in my book, I guess I outline my journey from misogyny back to being normal again, and I actually found that through this site, surprisingly enough, it actually helped me respect women more, which sounds counterintuitive when you think about
From
it.
the beginning, or did you start off respecting them less and then
No.
you came around?
I started off respecting them less. I just wanted to get my end wet. I'm not going to lie. I just wanted to start racking up numbers. I found through the internet that this salt dating thing exists, and I thought, I'm going to give it a try.
Alright, so
Because, yeah,
sorry, I'm just curious. Are the women attractive, or are we talking like bottom of the barrel kind of stuff? Or are they beautiful?
physically,
Yeah, physically.
oh no, physically, you're talking 8s, 9s, and 10s, because it's such a competitive industry, or competitive market out there, I should say, that only the ones that are like aesthetically good looking are gonna actually have any kind of chance at getting any kind of actual sugar daddy.
Yep.
Um,
So how old were the girls?
you want a range?
Yeah. Or an average maybe. So give me an average.
Average, the ones that I dated,
Yep.
probably average is about 23, 24.
And how old are you?
I'm 43.
Okay, so in 6 months, you slept with 20 women with an average of age 23, and these women were 8s, 9s, and 10s. I think
Yeah,
some people listening to this right now are thinking,
it sounds absurd.
how is
Yeah.
this possible? All respect to you. You're a nice guy. I've been chatting to you for about half an hour, but people dream of having that kind of sexual abundance. How did you achieve that?
Look, it's not an overnight thing. Before then, I'd done a hell of a lot of work on myself, and I continued to do work on myself while I was doing this whole salt dating thing. But also, I think you really have to learn some sort of pickup. You have to have done some sort of pickup and have some sort of understanding about how seduction works. So I'd already done all that kind of stuff before I'd even heard of this salt dating thing. And I wouldn't say I'm a master at it or anything like that, but like repetition always helps, and I just had an opportunity to practice what I've been taught, and yeah.
So you wouldn't say then that there's anything like especially unique or different about you that afforded you this opportunity? Look at that
jeez.
face, that was funny. All right, so but then I guess this is what potentially is going to excite some guys, is that if they want this experience, then if there's nothing special about you, then is it replicable? Can they just follow the exact same steps that you did and achieve the exact same thing?
Well, everybody's going to be different in some circumstance, and everybody's going to want different things. And look, I honestly think that if you are overtly trying to find a relationship on that site, then you really need to be really, really careful about how you conduct yourself on that site. Because yes, some of the girls a lot of the girls will take advantage of you wanting a relationship. But however, I think if you just want to go and have fun and see how things develop, you may actually find somebody that you naturally click with that actually turns naturally into a relationship. But I think to start off with, I think it's good to use the site to gain some abundance, and then you just automatically gain more confidence and competence with women. That's what I found for my own personal
Well, that makes sense. I know that some guys, they'll travel to Thailand and frequent the go-go bars where the women are trying to hit them up and chat to them, because I think they're prostitutes or some Thai variation of prostitutes. And they do it not necessarily wanting to follow through, but just to have the experience of being a desired man for a little while, because they've been, you know, thirsty and dying of thirst in the desert, and then there's an oasis, and actually when it clicks and you have that experience of oh look, there's all of these women chasing me, I'm the valuable one, it unlocks something in their brain which unleashes a confidence that was lying dormant that they can then translate into ordinary interactions. Is this kind of what it did for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're naturally appealing to women's natural sense of hypergamy, because hey, look, I'm not an Adonis. I'm like 5'8". I don't know if I'm a good-looking guy or not. I think I'm okay looking, but I don't think there's anything other than I might have done a bit better financially than some other people. But the whole idea of this experiment, which I outline in my book, was I didn't want to overtly pay these girls money to sleep with. That kind of like negates the point of the experiment in the book. So to me, it was all about, like, can I just naturally appeal to a girl's innate sense of hypergamy and play on that in order to seduce them effectively?
And I found the experiment very, very interesting. I won't say that it was a completely comfortable read for me, if I can be honest, because, I mean, as well as like the graphic sexual detail, I actually found fascinating. It brought up a lot of ethical issues, because you can sense the struggle, the slight bitterness that you had. There's the question of, if you've met somebody with the understanding that you're going to pay them and you don't pay them, are you cheating these girls in some way? I also am a little reluctant to give any airtime to sugar babies, because I want the guys on my channel to meet high quality women, and I personally have a huge level of skepticism, gorgeous and young though they may be, that these are not the kind of women that you marry. But if we read it more, your book, as more of an experiment and less of this is a guide to how you should live, I think that there's actually tremendous value, because you did something that I haven't seen anybody else do and document as thoroughly as you did.
Yeah. I mean, I did get the idea of another person who went through the process, but he was a lot younger than me, and I think the main difference between what he was doing and what I was doing was, I think he kind of fell into the trap of, I think he had a bit of a, what do you call it? Can't stop doing something.
Habit addiction.
Yeah, like an addictive personality, and I think he was just smashing anything and everything in sight, you know, on that website. And I think I tried to do it more with a scientific kind of mindset, and I discovered a hell of a lot of things about myself. I discovered a hell of a lot of things about women. One of the main things I discovered was that you just can't treat all women as being exactly the same. Like, you got to kind of play what's in front of you. And there are like shitty women on the site, but there's some chicks that are pretty cool. You know, you just never know what you're going to get.
I think that a lot of men would be surprised to find what's in their true nature, were they given the opportunity to have the kind of sexual abundance that you did. Like, you get a lot of traditional guys that are like, I would never do this kind of thing, and I'm above all that, and I don't crave casual sex. But actually, they're just a guy who can't get laid, who's claiming to be like a celibate monk or something. There's no virtue in that. The thing that I really found quite gripping, and I became invested in your story as I read it, was seeing how your relationship with yourself and potentially your own dark side or your own lust for, I guess, abundance in women would play out. And I won't give away the ending, but it's quite a journey that you went on, and you're not the same person now that you were when you started.
Absolutely not. No. Yeah, I think if anything, it kind of like gave me a bit better idea about what I'm actually after and what I'm chasing for. It like reinforced my boundaries as what I'm willing to accept with women and what I'm willing to just let go. And one of the main takeaways I think from the whole thing was, I had it in my mind, I'm trying to remember what it was now, was that that you do have to play what's in front of you. and treat women not all the same. Like they are on a spectrum. You can meet women on there that are, you know, really cool people to just hang out with. Are they marriage material? I don't know, but a lot of them aren't even on the site. They're not all covert prostitutes. I think a lot of the girls that I met had just had like a bad boyfriend, or the last boyfriend was just a useless, you know, person, and they ended up paying all of their boyfriend's bills for them. And I think they just almost felt as though they kind of wanted to get a bit of their, you know, a bit of balance back. You know, somebody can look after them for a change. So yeah, I'm rambling a bit, but
look, we've been chatting for a while, and I've decided, having met you, that we're going to promote the book on the channel. So there's going to be like a link in the description box. There'll be my personal review of the book. You can click on that to find out my detailed thoughts about it. There'll also be a link to it in the book. You, in addition to your story, you also give tips on how to replicate this experiment if you need to see it for yourself. That's right.
Yes.
Yep. I remember I kind of skimmed that part because I thought, well, I'm not going to go and do this experiment, but I would be curious if other people did. But I reckon that's enough information for people to go on. If you want to find out more, check out those links in the description box. Do you have any closing thoughts for us, Stuart?
Geez, in what way?
Why should people check out this book? What is it going to deliver to them?
Oh, okay. Well, what will it deliver to them? Here comes a hard sell. I think that it would be beneficial for anybody who's interested in knowing what the innate female nature is, and seeing hypergamy play out in real life, and kind of understanding that not everybody is exactly the same. That's all I
love that sentiment. I feel like beneath the veneer of our civilized society and our dating market, we still have these core principles of men wanting sex, women wanting access to resources. And you could say that in your book and in your experience, you were seeing a very raw display of human nature.
Yeah.
I will leave it there. Thank you so much.
Cheers.